657 Boulevard, Westfield, New Jersey. A house that looks perfect on the outside. Victorian charm, lush lawn, tree-lined street. But beneath the beauty lies a secret. A watcher, someone who sees, someone who knows, someone who waits. In 2014, a family moved into what they thought was their dream home. But the dream quickly became a nightmare because someone was watching them, and they were not the first. This is the story of 657 Boulevard. This is the story of the watcher, and some houses, they never forget who belongs. Derek and Maria Broaddus had worked for years to get here. They were in their late 30s, raising 3 young children, and finally ready to settle down in the suburbs. 657 Boulevard was the perfect escape from the city. The house was nearly 4,000 square feet, built in 1905 with 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and all the charm of a classic American home. It sat in the heart of one of New Jersey's safest and wealthiest neighborhoods. The purchase price, $1.3 million. It was a dream. But 3 days after they closed on the house, before they'd even officially moved in, Derek stopped by to paint. Alone, quiet, empty house, dusk falling. That's when he checked the mailbox. Inside was a white envelope, no return address, just thick handwritten letters. To the new owner. The letter began innocently.
Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood.
But the tone shifted quickly.
657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now. And as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming.
The writer claimed to be the latest in a line of watchers, watching the house, waiting for it to be filled with young blood. And they noticed the renovations, the noise, the changes. They didn't like it. There were questions.
Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out.
It was signed simply, The Watcher. A few days passed and Derek and Maria told the police. They paused renovations. They tried to ignore the fear. But then another letter arrived. This time it knew more. The names of their children, their birth order, their nicknames, where they played.
I see you've already flooded 657 with contractors, so that you can destroy the house as it was supposed to be. Bad move.
The watcher asked if their children would sleep in the attic, who had bedrooms facing the street, if one would be using the room at the back of the house.
It will help me to know who is in which bedroom, then I can better plan.
The family hadn't even unpacked, and already someone knew everything. Terrified, the Broadduses stopped sleeping at the house. They installed a high-end security system. They considered moving out. Another letter came, angrier, more personal. The watcher was disappointed that the family hadn't moved in yet. They warned that the house missed the sound of children's feet.
Where have you gone to? 657 is crying out to you. The house is begging for its young blood.
The fear wasn't just psychological, it was tangible. Their children's lives were being watched by someone who never appeared, someone who never knocked, but knew everything. Police investigated the neighbors. They looked at postal workers and former owners, anyone who might have held a grudge. Michael Langford, the man next door, became an early suspect. He was eccentric. He lived with his elderly mother. He fit the profile, but there was no evidence. And the letters kept coming. The Broadduses hired a private investigator, former FBI agents, forensic linguists, even a priest. They analyzed the letters for unique syntax, searched for saliva on the envelopes, ran fingerprint tests, all dead ends. Derek created a map of the neighborhood. He marked every home around 657. He noted sight lines, windows, elevation. From which angles could someone see the kids? Where would they have to stand to know these details? Still nothing. A DNA sample found on one envelope turned out to be from a woman, but it didn't match Maria or anyone they tested. Every theory led nowhere. Every suspect faded, and the watcher kept writing. After nearly a year of silence, the story leaked. First in the local paper, then national news, then true crime blogs. People were obsessed. Who was the watcher? Was it a neighbor, a prankster, a jilted bidder who lost the house? Speculation ran wild. Tourists drove by. Journalists staked out the street, but 657 remained empty. Maria began seeing a therapist. Derek developed insomnia. They worried about their children's safety. They felt watched at school events, paranoid at the grocery store. They couldn't shake the feeling that anyone could be the watcher. Their dream home was poison, and they were trapped. They tried to sell the house, but no one wanted it. Not after the letters. They sued the previous owners, claiming they'd hidden the threat. But the court dismissed the case. The house sat. Eventually, they rented it out, and even those tenants received letters. In 2017, after 3 years of fear, another letter arrived, this one to the renters.
You are the chosen, and 657 Boulevard is glad you have come.
The watcher was still there. Eventually, in 2019, the Broadduses sold the house, at a loss. The buyers knew the story. They didn't care. 657 stood still, watching. Was the watcher bored, gone, or just sleeping? Was it a neighbor? Someone nearby? Was it a hoax? Some believe Derek or Maria wrote the letters themselves, out of buyer's remorse, trying to escape a bad investment. But no evidence supports that. And why terrorize themselves? Others think it was an artist, a failed novelist, a recluse with a dark imagination. But the truth is, no one knows. No one has ever been arrested. 657 Boulevard is just a house, but maybe houses remember, maybe walls hold secrets. And maybe, just maybe, the watcher is still watching, still waiting, still writing, and maybe next time, their letter will be for you. Some homes aren't haunted by ghosts, they're haunted by memory, and by eyes you'll never see. So, do you have any clues?